Okay, so as you can see, the categories I kept like very simple. The last tier list we did, because there was so much more involved with everything we were talking about, I had to kind of change the categories. With this, it's very much just kind of like which one's better, which one is just like, do I enjoy more, or do I feel like is a better theme overall, that sort of thing. And as you can see, there's like 5-6 versions of the Gen 1 theme. This is pretty common for the older champion themes just because they've had more opportunities to be reiterated on. Whereas, you know, we don't have Hao's theme in here, but I'm kind of clumping them together because I feel like they're on a similar level in Sun and Moon. But yeah. So that's kind of what we're doing here. So the first theme, the original red and blue champion theme. I actually have most of these themes pulled up. I found a video that had them all. I'm going to try to play them kind of quietly in the background. So just let me know if they're too loud. I'm going to have them fairly quiet. Or if you need them louder, let me know. If you just cannot hear it at all. So this theme was the classic one. It definitely invokes a feeling of just like, oh god, like especially if you grew up with this one, it's like this one brings back memories of like, yeah, fuck Gary, I'm gonna kick Gary's ass, and then you actually see the levels on his team and you're like, oh god, okay, like what did I get myself into? It's overall a great theme. And especially for its time, it was very good. But the difference here is that I'm kind of matching up these ones against each other rather than just like in the last tier list we did. It was kind of like we took into account that like the time that they came out and the time frame and everything. And I'm still gonna kind of account for that because I feel like, I mean, you can't give it too much crap for the fact that it's on like an 8-bit thing or whatever. This one, I believe the original one is like a solid B tier. I bet Gen 2's theme gets S tier because Doots is a Gen 2 shill. You'll see. Some of these might surprise you. Not gonna lie, some of these might surprise you because I went back before I went live. I went back and made sure I listened to all of them just to remember and make sure I could kind of fairly judge them. It was actually one of the first times I think I've actually heard the X and Y championship theme. I think I've heard it like once before, but I didn't think I heard it all the way through. Fire Red and Leaf Green. Okay. So this one, I feel like the Fire Red and Leaf Green one, it very much fits the Fire Red and Leaf Green soundboard. It's got those like, you know, electric guitar like, but it also has the Gen 3 horns, which is like, that is Fire Red and Leaf Green music in a nutshell. It is like, they couldn't figure out if they wanted to have Gen 3 horns or like rock sounds, so they just mixed the two. So they were like, let's put electric guitar into Hoenn music, and we will then have Kanto music remastered. Which, I mean, I grew up with this music, so I think it's great. And I think actually you'll hear the bells in the background here if I don't talk over them super loud. But I think this is actually a really good theme. I actually prefer this one over the original one. I don't quite know if I want to put it all the way up in A+. I mean, it is a pretty good theme. But I'm trying to be a little bit more, I'm trying to actually utilize like all these rankings we have here, which, I mean, spoiler, I don't know if any of them are going to end up in D tier, just because they're all, I mean, they're all champion themes, dude. Like, they're all like good themes in some regard. Just some are better than others. So for now, I'm going to have that one in A tier, just because it is a little confusing between like horns and rock sounds. And that's kind of the only thing that holds it back for me is like, just decide. Like I'm fine with horns and rock sounds, but like you could make it a little bit more clear of like what you're going for there, you know? So, Black and White 2, I'm pretty sure actually had the same theme for Blue. It's gonna go to it by itself in a second here. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they had the same theme, which, if anyone even watches this in the future, they can correct me if I'm wrong, but, I think this one's pretty good. I don't feel like the Gen 1 theme really fits into the Gen 5 like soundboard. Like you'll hear it in the background here. It's a little bit weird to hear how they try to like fit this theme into Gen 5's sounds. Because Gen 5 is like, it's a little bit more like almost like future-y in a lot of ways. This one overall, it's like, it's okay, but I just don't feel like this theme fits the soundboard for Black and White 2. So this one goes, I feel like, in B tier. I feel like it's a little bit worse than the original one. It's still, I mean, it's still Blue's theme, which is good. Like, it's a good theme, so it deserves to be like a B tier, but it's not good enough to be on the same level as the Fire Red Leaf Green one. Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. That one, I don't even know if I've heard that one. Wait. All right, well, we're gonna have to listen to this together for a second. Sun and Moon? It has like some like Diamond and Pearl legendary theme going on in the background, and I kind of like it. I mean, it says the original composition was by Masuda and Goichi knows. Okay, well, here's what I'll say. I think that one is... I actually like that one more than... I don't know if that one's like the Sun and Moon one or whatever. I don't really know. But whatever that one is, I like it better than the Black and White version of it. So I think I still like the original more because this one's a little too like... Untaketa, untaketa, untaketa. And I'm like, all right, relax with the beatboxing snare in the background. Okay, so then we have the Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee version of that theme, which, I mean, Blue wasn't even the champion in that, which is, you know, I feel like knocks it some points down, at least for me in my heart. But I mean, the song itself is actually pretty good. I think this is actually a really good version of this theme. They do a pretty good job of like keeping the energy going, but like they do stay true to the original theme with like the intensity, and it and it respects our time. I mean, that's the biggest part about it, right? Not only does the game respect our time, but the music respects our time. I really like what they did with this because they basically took the Fire Red and Leaf Green one, right? Like you can hear the horns and electric guitar in the background, but it works. Like now that it's like fully orchestrated, it really works. The like drum and snare in the background, I'm not a huge fan of the fact that for a couple of years Pokemon kind of decided to like put that as the background to like every song that was supposed to be intense. They were like, we'll create energy by going like, it's like, yes, that creates energy, but like I don't need that like pummeled into my head for all of eternity. But I really like this theme. I think they do a great job with it. I don't know if I love it. No, I kind of do like it more than Fire Red Leaf Greens. I really do think they did a great job with that one. And they didn't change the key, weirdly, which you'll see some of these ones do. They change the key of the song or whatever as they remaster it, which like doesn't make it bad, but it's like unnecessary. It's like we're trying to make it remastered by upping it a half step, which isn't super necessary. Okay, there it is. Gen 2's theme. Just listen for a second. It's so good. I'm just gonna like rip the band-aid off right now. This is A+. It's not S tier. Despite early predictions, it's not S tier. And here's why. The theme is so good. It's iconic. It is like Like when you hear this theme, it just brings you back to fighting Lance and his 3 stupid Dragonites that were all ridiculously powerful and higher level than anything you had at that point in the game. The theme itself is good. It's like, it has great energy. So the part, what really carries this song actually is the underlying part, the low part. That's what keeps the energy going. It's just constantly like it's constantly going, and that lets the top part shine with its like longer notes and the melodic pieces. No, that was not decided 5 minutes ago. That was decided already before the stream, Mike. This theme reminds me of Nintendo games. It very much is like the theme of for some people it very much is like the theme of Nintendo games. There's a lot I could unpack there. I feel like he was influenced by the Peanut Gallery making fun of him. No, dude, I was actually gonna put it there. You guys have to remember, I put Crystal version, despite my Gen 2 shillness, I put Crystal version behind Emerald, dude. Like, I can be objective to a certain degree. Like, I'm not completely blinded by my opinions, okay? No, it's definitely an A+ theme, and it's super iconic. And again, there's a lot I could unpack about like the actual like musical elements of it that make it so good, but like, to keep things brief, it's both the high part and the low part just work really well together. And there's obviously some like intentionality about having the low part be so like energy, like fast driven. So that way the top part could shine. So it's definitely A+, but it's not quite S tier, because what is S tier is the Heart Gold and Soul Silver version of that song. It is, easily S tier. Let me turn that one on. You guys can't see me, but I was absolutely headbanging through that whole thing. This song is sick. This song is, it's so good, dude. Like, this is what you want in a champion theme, right? It has like a quiet, badass intro that ups the like intensity. It like gets you going like, oh, there's gonna be something cool coming, isn't there? And then it just smacks you in the face, and it's like, okay, like it just, you get off to a sick start. Oh, the energy is great because the drums in the background, it's not just going like these, some of the newer ones do. It's like there's some very much like going on in the back, and that keeps it fresh. It keeps it like, it's like during this part, there's not even drums in the background. It's just like, it lets the music shine. It's just, there's so, oh, this theme was just meticulously put together, and it's a beautiful remaster of it. Now, I will say, thank you, I am a great singer, okay, Edison. How do I put it? The instrumentation of Gen 4 music in general doesn't work super well all the time for these like intense themes, which is why, like when you listen to those, some of those like trumpets, like it can sound a little bit goofy. It kind of has to do with the instrumentation of the DS itself, and what they used for Diamond and Pearl and Heart Gold and Soul Silver. But I think it still works perfectly fine. But I could see like how other people could find it as a drawback. So just wanted to put that out there. The Black and White 2 version, it's very similar to the Heart Gold and Soul Silver version. Obviously with Black and White 2 instrumentation. It's okay. Like, it's not a bad version of this song. And, well, let me just let it play for a second. So, as you can hear, the drums in the background go a little bit nuts during this version, which is a little bit of a drawback for me, personally. I mentioned that before. I mentioned how the drums going absolutely wild is not my favorite thing, and it is certainly not needed in this theme. Additionally, when they did this version of it, they decided to do a lot of clashing notes, like clashing harmonies, which is always cool in small doses. Like it's in jazz, it's called going outside of the box. Like if you're soloing over a specific scale, like a blues scale, if you throw in a couple of notes in the right times that aren't in that scale or within that kind of harmonization, sometimes it's like you're throwing in a little like, ew, like, okay, like, you know, here's a little bit of a stinky note for a second, but that, you know, keeps your interest, right? It's done a little bit too much in this theme, and I'm not a huge fan of them doing that, personally. So I think this version actually, I feel like goes, I mean, it's still the champion theme, but I think it's actually worse than the Gen 1 champion themes that we have here, because it's just not quite as good, in my opinion. I think they kind of, they tried to do a little bit too much with like making it like black and white futuristic or like whatever, and they didn't need to do that. Okay, the original, oh, we're into Gen 3 now. Okay, this will be a fun one. It's gonna start, oh wait, it goes into Red's. Okay, so this is the one that's not on the list. This is Red's theme from Sun and Moon. So this was Red's theme from Sun and Moon. It's pretty good, actually. Like, this was a really unique twist on Red's theme that definitely fit Sun and Moon style. And I thought this was a creative remaster of it. It just isn't as intense as the original one. It's a cool theme. It just does not invoke the same like intensity to me. So it's not even on the list, but I mean, if I could rank it, I mean, it'd probably be like somewhere between A and B. It'd be somewhere in there. Okay, so what you're hearing in the background is the Gen 3 champion theme. So I'll have you know, as someone who's a fan of brassy music, this song is like horns up the freaking cooter, dude. Like, just listen to this. It's so good. This one is really good, okay? Not to mention, I mean, I've heard this theme, I feel like a million times, because I beat the Elite Four what feels like a million times in Gen 3. It is like, it's so good, dude. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's everything just, I'll try to describe it as best I can. Again, just like the Gen 2 champion theme, the underlying part works really well to keep the energy going, but not only that, the top, you can hear the top part. It's going and going and going too. But then, you'll hear in a second, again, when it gets to the, oh, it's not going to do it. Okay, right at that part, anyways, that part that it gets to where it's where like it builds up and it's like like that is like, that's what you want, dude. Like, you want that breakdown to be like some really cool top part, and it's like high note, and then it like does a descending pattern. It's and then it starts to ascend again. It's a it's like, oh, it's like a parabola of music, dude. It's like, this theme is just so incredible. I like how you just break it into singing. Well, yeah, that's the best way I can describe it. It's hard to describe without like understanding the complete music theory behind it, because my understanding of music theory is not like a college, like I've taken like one class on jazz music stuff. Like, I don't have all the terminology I would need to break it down, but I have my brain terminology, and that's what's important. So this one, the tough part is there is a remaster of this version. I'm putting it at the very top of A+ tier. I'm putting it over the Gen 2 original champion theme. I don't think anything is going to top it in A+ tier. It is like borderline S tier, But I'm really, again, like I said, I'm trying to be more like diligent with like utilizing the tiers here. The Black and White 2 version, let me pull that up. I don't know how many of you actually heard this one, so I'm giving it a minute to actually play for a second. It's hard to mess up a theme that's that good. I mean, it's when a theme is really good, I mean, it's hard to mess up. Like Black and White 2, they didn't do a great job with Lance's theme, but they did still stay true to Steven's theme. Black and White 2, okay, what makes the original one so iconic, at least for me, was the intensity of the horns. Like hearing intense brass horns was like so cool. And that's what made it just felt more intense for me. The Black and White 2 version, I feel like is still really good because again, that theme is so good. But using the Black and White 2 like sound palette, it makes it more of that like it sounds like it's on like a synthesizer almost, which again is still cool, but I don't think quite as cool as the original. So I'm gonna put that in. I'm gonna keep it behind. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it behind. I think it's better than the Fire Red and Leaf Green Champion one. Not sure if it's better than the Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee one. I don't know if anything's gonna. Well, let me not say that. There might be something better than that in A tier. Okay. The Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire version is in this one. So as you can hear, this version of it is extremely good. It's got great stuff going on for it. It really does take on that feeling of here's your champion theme, but like remastered. Like you can very much hear like they are utilizing everything that the Gen 6 soundboard has to offer. And it really does a good job of, and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire music in general does a really good job of still feeling like Gen 3 music, but also feeling like a remaster. It's hard for me to say which one I actually like better between the original Gen 3 one and this one, because I kind of flip-flop between them. What I'm actually going to say is, because this is my tier list, I'm going to move the original one up into S tier. I'm going to put this one at the top of A+. Because I really do think that original one is just so absolutely iconic and like beautiful to listen to. It's so fun to listen to the original one, man. So I think I'm gonna have that there. But again, that's my own personal preference. Okay, what are we on? Oh, we're up to the Gen 4 ones. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Oh, all right. I'm just gonna let this play for a little bit because this is one you really have to just let it soak, let it sink in. Okay. That's just the intro. Okay, that's the encounter theme to the champion. Okay, so that's how you know this one's gonna be really good. Okay, the fact that the pianos just go absolutely bonkers makes me so happy. Okay, and then not only does it do that, okay, it's like the appetizer to then a magnificent champion theme. Okay, a truly magnificent champion theme. Oh, that goes into this one. Oh, it's so good. Okay. So as to actually ranking this one, it's S tier. This is potentially the most, at least in the Pokemon community, this is potentially the most heralded champion theme. It's definitely from what I see consistently, it's always between the Cynthia theme and the Heart Gold Soul Silver champion theme. And I personally can't really tell you which one is my favorite. To be honest, all three of these ones in S tier are difficult for me to even like say like which one is my absolute favorite, because they're all iconic in their own way. And they all mean something different to me in their own way. So I feel like as far as like where this goes in S tier, it's hard for me to like truly say. I mean, I don't know, man. I it's almost, it's like picking your favorite child. It's just like, these are my babies. I would probably say for me personally, I mean, this is probably where I would put it. I don't know if I like it more than Heart Gold and Soul Silvers. I don't know if I like it more than Ruby and Sapphire. I'm going to leave it that way, and if I feel different later, I'll change it. How about that? That's how we'll go about that. Because then we have the Black and White, or Black and White 2 version. I'm pretty sure it's the same song. That one is this one. So this is an interesting one. Again, I'll let it play for a minute. So one thing you'll hear, turn it down a little bit. One thing you'll hear right from the get-go is in this remaster of the song, they added in like almost like power chord sort of notes, like hits. And I actually really like that. It helps keep a sense of like where the harmonization is, and like, it's a really cool addition that I think they did to it. The like constant snare is not necessary, and that's just kind of like a Gen 5 and beyond thing where they just like fell in love with snare drums and like threw it into everything. It's not totally necessary in this theme, but it doesn't completely take away from it. I don't know if you heard it because I was probably talking over it, but there's a part towards the end of that, like, the, like, theme where it kind of goes into, like, the sounds from, like, Giratina's, like, distortion world, where it's like, meow. I'll see if it plays it again. But, I thought that was a really nice addition, because it's like, you know, it's like, oh, Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, let's throw in this, like, Platinum influence. Which I thought was a really unique thing to add into it. Now, do I think that this one is better than the original? No. But it's still really good. I think this is where it happens. Yeah, listen to this. Like, that's pretty sick. That's a really cool touch and like homage to Giratina and Platinum. Like, they do a really good job of kind of catering to some of that Gen 4 sound nostalgia. So I absolutely feel like this is an A+ theme. Again, it's hard for me to put it over. Actually, you know what? No, I am going to put it. I really do think that's a really cool theme. I don't think it was necessary to pitch it up. I think it goes up a half step or a whole step from the original. Either way, it wasn't super necessary for them to do that. But I understand them wanting to, you know, kind of artificially increase the intensity, because it's like, hey, it's Cynthia, but on crack, because she's ridiculously impossible to fight in Black and White, as seen in the past with Nick and I. Getting absolutely clapped.
Let the fun begin.
Just one right here. Oh, fuck you and your sucker punch. Woo! Woo! What?
Crit.
What?
And And that is it.
Are you serious?
That is it.
What?
Although, to be fair, I wasn't allowed to, like, super grind for it because Nick was like, no, I don't want to grind. We're just going to go in there and kill her with Volcarona. It's going to be easy sweep. And I'm like, yeah, all right, buddy. But regardless. So that's where I'm going to put those. The black and white champion theme. So they actually had two unique champion themes. One for Alder, one for Iris. And they're very different from each other. And I don't know. These are probably going to start being the themes that less people have heard, I would imagine. Just because they're kind of from the newer games, which aren't quite as popular. So let me play Gen 5s. Yeah, so that's the gist of Alder's theme. It reminds me of another theme that I can't remember exactly, but it's like the one that's like ba 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 do ba da. Oh wait, da 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 da. It kind of what is that? Ba dum bum. It's a Gen 4 theme. I believe is it Cyrus's battle theme that's reminding me of? I think, oh dude, if I just like galaxy brained that. That is Cyrus's. Wow. That's so funny. Okay. So, it reminds me of Cyrus's battle theme. It's on its own, Alder's theme. It's okay, but like, there's not really anything special or like memorable about it. It just kind of feels like another like Gen 5 battle theme, which is why I feel like I had to like re-listen to it a couple of times before making this list, because it just kind of was like, okay, like it's not great. And so I actually feel like this one, Alder's theme, I'm putting actually all the way in D tier. I feel like it's just not. You never hear it because you don't hear it until the second time through the before. Exactly. So that kind of drops it down even more, because it's like you don't even hear it until you go back through everything. So this was I think probably the only one I feel like they kind of completely whiffed on was Alder's theme. Iris's theme. Okay, so as you can hear, Iris's theme is significantly more creative. Like, they were like, we're going to make this one way more memorable, way more unique. They utilize a lot of square and saw lead, which I always love because it reminds me of just messing around on my keyboard. Oh, I forgot to turn my heater off. Hold on. Sorry. It's been going on in the background. Yeah, this theme is really cool. I love Iris's theme, and I'm kind of bummed that I didn't get to hear it because I never played through any of the White or White 2 games. This is a super cool theme. Because it was like pretty much the first time I had heard it today, I couldn't quite figure out where I liked it compared to the other ones. But it's so unique. Like, it really is. It stands out on its own. Like, it doesn't really sound like any of the other themes, which I really like. Because I really do like this theme. I don't know if I would put it all the way up with... No, it's not on the same level as those. I think it's at the top of A tier. Yeah, I feel okay about that. I feel like that's a top. I think that's a really cool theme. Now, something that a champion theme always needs is a feeling of either finality or like intensity. And that's what held Alders back a lot. Was it wasn't intense, and it doesn't feel any like there's any finality. Like it doesn't feel like a final boss theme or anything. This one, Iris's doesn't feel intense. Like it's not like an intense like oh god theme like these other ones can be. But it definitely feels like a like this is the end of the game. You're about to triumph. You're about to like you're gonna do it. Like it's gonna be crazy. And I really like that about her theme. But because it's not quite on the level of these themes, I can't quite put it in A+ tier. But I think it absolutely deserves to be at the top of A tier. Now, X and Y, like I said at the beginning, this was the first time I had really heard it. Or at least that I remembered hearing it. Again, I feel like I've heard it before, but we'll listen to this one a little bit. I don't know how many of you have actually heard this because I don't feel like everyone has played through X and Y. But let's just listen to this. Okay, so once again, we have a theme that definitely sticks out. It has a lot of its own sounds. Those bells, the ba-do-do-do-do, da-do-do-do-do, very unique to this song. And it does have good energy. Like, and again, some of that's caused, through the, constant boots and cats going in the background. But overall, it's not a bad theme. It's actually, I've seen people claim that this is like an S tier theme. Like they feel like this is like one of the best champion themes, if not the best. And let me just stop playing it for a second. Okay. So that way I know I can be heard. The X and Y champion theme is not an S tier theme. And the main reason for that is because the drums do not shut up. Like, the drums don't ever stop. It's just like it's just like, okay, like give me a break, right? Like give me a break. Let there be some like differentiation throughout this song. Like that's what all three of these top themes do, is they give you highs, they give you lows, they give you like everything kind of in between. And that's what makes them so spectacular. X and Y, I really like that part where it's like the quiet stuff. It's like do 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 do, and then it's like do 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 do. Like that part is really cool. That breakdown, because it gives you that like immediate dynamic contrast of like something light, kind of getting a little bit of intense, and then it's just like ba-da, ba-da, like it's like in your face. That's cool. But then the rest of the song is kind of like boots and cats and boots and cats and boots and cats and it's like okay, so. I don't see it as this like top theme. I more see it as a solid theme. I would put it there. I think it's better than Black and White 2's Lance theme, that's for sure. I don't know. It might be better than Gen 1 or Gen 1 Remake Fire Red Leaf Green's champion theme. Maybe. It's kind of tied with that one for me. So again, I don't have Hows, but we will listen to Hows and I'll tell you what I feel about Hows. We do have, I'm counting this one as the original Sun and Moon theme, for the champion, which is against Kukui or whatever. This is also a pretty unique one. So I'd be curious what you guys think of this one, if anything. Okay. Yeah, I don't really know what to tell you. Say what you want about Sun and Moon. Say what I want about Sun and Moon. It's a dog shit Pokemon game. This champion theme fucking slaps, dude. This champion theme is so good. And here's why, okay? It is easily the most orchestrated and like highest level of musicality of any champion theme, of pretty much any Pokemon game song. Like, there is so much going on here, especially as like a band nerd. Like, this champion theme is something that I could have seen myself like playing in band. Like, there is a great combination of like, you have the highs and it's intense and it feels like you have these clashing notes and that builds the intensity. And then it just goes like, ba-da-doop, and it's like, oh yes, like it like snatches you and then brings in something quiet and brings back up the thing. Like, it's just, there's so much musicality here that like I remember when I heard this playing the game and I'm like, finally something good in this game. Like, at the end of the game, I was like, yes, like this is what I'm talking about. This is what I needed. I didn't even want to beat the champion because I just wanted to listen to his theme. It is a very well done, very well made theme. It's like, it's up there for me. Like, it is. Okay. I've given a lot of praise. Let me make sure I talk about his drawbacks. At times, there's a little too much going on. To the point where at times in the theme, it doesn't feel like it fits Pokemon, which could be said for Sun and Moon as a whole. Sun and Moon, I feel like, doesn't totally fit Pokemon in general. So that might have something to do with it. So the theme itself it doesn't totally feel like a Pokemon theme. It feels a little bit like a movie theme, which, as a movie theme, nerd or whatever, like, that's fine with me. But in terms of feeling like it works with Pokemon, it lacks a little bit in that regard. Despite that, though, if that's the worst thing about the theme, like, that means it's a pretty damn good theme. My brain wants to put it in S tier. But I don't know if I can do that. Because it's just not quite as iconic as those. I bet you in like 5 to 10 years, when this theme is most likely redone and put into future Pokemon games as like cameos or whatever, it might get to that point. I'm going to put it at the very top of A+ tier because it really is like borderline best of the best. But I don't know if I quite feel... Yeah, I'll stick to that. So before I get to Sword and Shield, let's... I'm going to talk over this one. I'm just going to play it quietly because we're not even ranking this one. This is How's theme from, I guess, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I don't know. I didn't play those, so I guess if he's the champion, then that makes those games even worse for me. It starts pretty much the same way as Kukui's. When I was listening to it before streaming, it basically... So How's theme, as you can hear, still pretty cool. It actually reminds me of the battle theme from, I think it's Pokemon Colosseum, for when you battle like the, what are they called? Team Cypher grunts or whatever. The like, this theme for How, it's not great. It's like, it feels like a little montage song for like a kids movie. It's really not. I really don't feel like this one's very good. It's pretty meh. It at the very least has a feeling of like, it does have some intensity to it, I guess. If I could rank How's theme, just for visual sake, if this was How's theme, I would probably put How in C or maybe top of D. I don't feel like it's quite as bad as Alders, because it does have some feeling of kind of a champion theme, I guess, but it's not very good. So it would be somewhere in that like range. Somewhere in there. Oh, this theme. Okay, well, it's a really long theme, so we're not going to listen to all of it. But we'll listen to a little bit of it. So, one thing I will give the Galar Champion theme credit for is it definitely encapsulates the feeling of the region. It's very on par with like with the crowd noise and the like kind of the twangy like you know, like that. It's definitely on par with kind of how that works. It's hard for me to describe how I feel about this one, just because the game was so shitty that it's so hard for me to give Sword and Shield credit for like anything. But the champion theme itself, it definitely feels like a finality sort of theme. It just, I know I gave it credit for the crowd noise, but the crowd noise becomes obnoxious in this one. Like, it's to the point in this song where you could hear some of what I played. It's like when it's going like and the crowd's like going ha 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 ha, and I'm like, okay, shut up, like, please, I don't need that much. It's distracting from the actual music. I do like that halfway in, it does start to have the like crowd, like it has like people going like la da 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 la da 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 da, and like I like that. But then the crowd going ah, 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 I'm just like, guys, shut up, please. So it's kind of like a, you know, a yin and yang thing with the crowd noise. Like it fits the region, but it's really annoying. Which I guess that's why it fits the region, right? So overall, the theme works. It's not horrible. It's not great. So this one, I definitely feel like that's like a C tier theme. It's could be better. So that's how I feel. I'm pretty sure I feel good with this. The A tier is tricky for me to figure out exactly where I'd have them all in there. And I do feel kind of bad having like every Gen 1 theme. All of the blue themes are just kind of alone in B tier. Oh, that feels kind of mean, but that's how I feel. I mean, I just feel like they didn't quite fit as well as these ones did. And the original Gen 1 theme just can't live up to these. So I'm leaving those how they are. A tier I feel good about. Iris, like, yeah, that's fine. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to leave it at that. Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Ruby and Sapphire, and Diamond Pearl. I almost feel like I need to just let me for a second. For just a second. Just for a second. God, that theme is so good. Oh, I don't know if I can knock that down at all. The Diamond and Pearl. Okay, here's why I have to leave Cynthia behind Ruby and Sapphire. Okay. The only reason I'm leaving it behind there is because the encounter theme for Cynthia, the piano stuff at the beginning, I feel like I can't use that as the sole reason why I would put it above the other two in S tier, because that's not technically part of the theme. It's like, it's before the theme. So the theme itself for Cynthia, I feel like isn't as good as the other two in S tier. But with the piano, I just want to make that clear. With the pianos at the beginning, easily at the top. Okay? Easily. That's like one of the best Pokemon things for music of all time is those freaking Cynthia pianos. But without the pianos, it's a little bit just slightly behind these two. Okay. Are there any questions, class?